Okay, I guess by the title of this video, you're probably saying, what in the world has he done? Let me explain to you what's going on here, or what happened. About 2 years ago, I decided to buy a truck. And me being a Chevy guy, I went out and looked at the trucks they had on the lot there. And the only truck that really impressed me was the Silverado High Country. But I wanted the 6.2 engine. But they were having problems with that engine. And I decided to delay my purchase. And initially, the reason why I wanted to get a truck, or as you all know, I do show my Corvette, and I wanted a vehicle that was capable of towing it to and from car shows. Then I started to read about the Silverado EV. And I believe that vehicle came out in 2022, but it came out as the work truck. Then they released the 2023 Silverado RST. And then in last year, I believe it was 2024, they introduced the 2024 Silverado EV LT. And I began to do my research, and I went to test drive two vehicles. It was a 2024 Silverado EV RST, and I test drove the 2025 Silverado EV LT with the extended range. I really didn't like the EV RST. For me, I thought it was somewhat overpriced, and it was more of an off-road. It didn't know if it wanted to be an off-road vehicle or a regular truck. So then I drove the 2025 Silverado EV LT, and I was really impressed with that vehicle. I was really impressed. I liked the way it, the ride, what have you. But my mind and my heart was still wanting to own the Silverado High Country 3.2. I don't know if any of you ever look at the interior of that High Country, but I had a friend of mine was telling me that the ZR2, it costs more, but what he fails to realize is the Silverado ZR2, it is an off-road vehicle, and the reason why it costs more than the High Country, it has a lot of off-road features on it that the High Country doesn't. The High Country basically is I would call it a GT truck, Grand Touring. So I took a trip with my Silverado EV. I spent some time in Townsend, Virginia. I mapped out the distance. I looked at my charge and see if I had enough to get there. And basically, I had enough to drive to Townsend, Maryland, which borderlines Virginia. I live in Jersey. And back. I came back, and it said I had 125 miles left on the charge at 20%. So I said, great. When I plugged it in, it initially said I had 465 miles. I was impressed. So I came home, and I said, let me charge my vehicle. I plugged it in, and I have a home General Motors stage 2 charger. I looked on my phone the next day, and it said stop charging. It stopped charge. I looked at it at 66%. I said, well, maybe something happened. So I unplugged it. I plugged it back in. It would not charge. Make a long story short, I scheduled an appointment. I took my vehicle in for service, and they could not tell me why my vehicle was not charging. Now, look, I'm not trying to badmouth General Motors. I'm not trying to badmouth Chevrolet. I'm just reporting facts. I had some anxieties just driving an EV, having to map out, where can I get electricity if I'm on the road. I had to buy an adapter because I found out that Tesla had the safest chargers. There was some anxiety. I guess with me trying to get used to owning an electric vehicle. It took them 2 weeks to tell me that the engineers at General Motors could not determine why my vehicle wasn't charging. They began to ask me questions about what type of stage 2 charger did I have. They thought I might have bought one that was not compatible. I had, like I told I have the one that I bought from you, from the GM. Stage 2, home charger. They asked me some questions, and I was getting somewhat irritated as though like I've done something wrong. So I got a call from the service manager there at Burlington Chevrolet and told me what General Motors wanted to do. General Motors gave them instructions to replace the battery. Now, I don't know if you guys understand that that's the most expensive part of an EV is the battery. And that somewhat rekindled some anxieties. I said, wait a minute, can you guarantee that the battery you give me is not going to also have a defect? And they couldn't do that. And I was reminded that I have a 100,000-mile warranty up to 8 years. But my concern was, what if it happens again? But this time, what if I'm not home? What if I'm on the road? So I told them I no longer want the vehicle. I wanted to replace it. Now, I lost money. I lost thousands of dollars. But to me, my peace of mind means more to me than money. And the main reason why I made a decision to buy the EV, I guess you would call it American greed. Because when you look at the MSRP for the 2025 Silverado EV LT extended range, it costs more. It costs more than the 2025 Silverado High Country. But Uncle Sam gave me $7,200. State of New Jersey gave me $4,000. And there were some other incentives, me being a military veteran and this, that, and the other. I got about $14,000 off the MSRP. And that somewhat motivated me to buy the EV, to try it. I tried it, and trust me, it's not for me. So I took a loss, and I'm going to show you the vehicle that I replaced the Silverado EV with. It is the exact same vehicle that well, not the exact same vehicle, but it's the vehicle I looked at 2 years ago. I test drove it, and I said, this is the one I want. And I'm gonna go ahead and go over what the vehicle is equipped with, and I'm gonna show it to you. It is the 2025. Let me read this. 2025 Silverado Crew High Country. That's the way they have it worded. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's a 2025 Silverado Crew High Country 4-wheel drive. They got that worded something strange. It should be High Country Crew Cab. The exterior is silver gray metallic, which I love. I've owned about, this is probably my 5th silver gray vehicle. For some reason, I fancy that color over all other colors. I've owned other colors now. I've owned black, I've owned red, I've owned green, what have you, but I prefer silver. The interior, now check this out. This is what really impressed me with this vehicle. The interior is jet black, and then it says night shift blue. And I'll show it, I hope the sun is up that you can see the blue haze that's in this vehicle. It's beautiful. And the engine is a 6.2 liter Ecotec V8 with a 10-speed transmission. Now let me tell you the reason why I'm comfortable with the 6.2. I did my research, and believe it or not, the reason why they were having problems with the 6.2 is the oil that they were using was not properly lubricating the vehicle. And to make a long story short, they decided to put the 0.20 in the vehicle to help with the gas mileage. Now, I'm not really a gas mileage person, but it does matter. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna buy something I'm just constantly, invest all my money in owning a gas station. But I've owned 7 Corvettes, and you may not believe it, I had a 2009 C6, I believe a 6-speed manual. On the highway, I was getting 32 miles a gallon on the highway. Now, you can't drive 90 miles an hour to get that gas mileage, but long you keep it under 70, you're going to get decent mileage. And I also own a 2023 Corvette C8 Stingray, and that has the 6.2 in it also. And I get about 28 miles per gallon in that one. That's an automatic. You get better gas mileage in a manual than you do an automatic. And I'm believing if they fix the problem they were having, the lubrication problem they were having with this 6.2 engine that they have in the truck, that I'm gonna get probably better gas mileage that they say I'm gonna get. General Motors say that you're getting 15 miles per gallon in the city, 20 on the highway, and with a 17 combined. And long you're not driving crazy, you're gonna get, you're not getting gas mileage as a Volkswagen Beetle, but you're gonna get decent gas mileage, all right? But I wanna show you this vehicle. It's very similar to the Silverado EV, but the only difference is that the vehicle I have now, it has a standard bed in the back. Now the EV had the short bed, and I was able to park it in my garage. This vehicle is, I believe we measured, it's 200 inches long. The EV was 181. So, I prefer parking my vehicles in my garage, but I've had to park several vehicles outside my garage, especially when I own 3 and 4 vehicles, so this is going to be parked outside. But let me show you this vehicle. Fairness to General Motors, even when I drove the EV, I still wish I was driving the High Country. To me, the Silverado High Country, it's not a truck. I'm for real, guys. I've owned expensive SUVs. I've owned Lincoln Navigators. I've owned a Buick Rainier. I've owned the Suburban Prestige, and back at the time, the Prestige was the highest level. I've owned 2 Jeep Grand Cherokees. But this vehicle makes you feel good, put it that way. It looks good, it makes you feel good. So let me turn this around and show it to you. This is it. This is my brand new 2025 Silverado High Country. All right. It came with now I bought this off the lot. It came with the tonneau cover. Now, this is a hard tonneau cover, which I prefer. And to show you how long this is, my Silverado EV, the tonneau cover had 1, 2, 3 sections. Okay, this has 4.5. So this is a long bed, and the way you can tell that it's, well, the standard. The way you can tell it's a standard bed is the gap between here and here is longer. All right. And these are the most expensive wheels you can put on the Silverado, and I like the way they look. They look sharp. They look sharp. I like the running board. This looked better than the one on the EV. It has the high country theme, and the high country theme is the shiny metallic fixtures. There's a 6.2 liter. This is the front of the vehicle. Let me make sure I'm not crowding. I'm gonna get back so I can see it. It's the front of the vehicle. Now, all my vehicles, I tell you guys, I put what's called deer alerts. I put deer alerts on all of my vehicles, and I think I've told you why. All right. Come around this side. This is a good-looking vehicle. To me, it's a good-looking vehicle. All right. I'm not saying the EV wasn't a good-looking vehicle. I got a lot of compliments with that vehicle, mainly from the young people. They said it looked futuristic. But to me, this is more my speed. All right. This is more my speed. And this is the back, and it has the it also has the multi-flex tailgate. I'm not going to show that to you. You all saw the tailgate. You've seen on my other video how the tailgate function. But let me start it up for you. Now the reason why it's not real loud, I just came off the highway, but I'm gonna get inside, let that air conditioner cool off, and you know I had to put a little flavor to it. So let's look inside. Let's look in the back first. And the way you open the back up, you hit that twice. Whoa! I locked it, and then you open it. And this is what she looks like. You can't. Oh, here you go. Now you can see the blue. When I saw that blue, that to me, it's different. It's not gaudy. It's different. And what I liked about it was the brown or bronze stitching. And this is real wood. This is not plastic. All right. And it has this theme all through the vehicle. All right. All this is like the blue, and this is the black on the side. And watch this. I really like that. You got a compartment back here where you can, you know, not hide things, but store things. And I have my license plates there because I transferred my license plate. So as soon as they send me my registration, I'm gonna put those on there. All right. Also, I like what came with it also from the factory were they call them floor covers. All right. I had to buy a set. I prefer the plastic or rubber floor mats over the carpet. Nice high country badge. We look inside. And let me show you what really got my attention. All right, let me get inside. Okay, let me close this door. Now watch this. Look at that animation. That is, I believe it's the Rockies in Colorado. I'm gonna start it up. And just like I had on my EV, I do my Corvette the same way. I put a code in it. In case somebody try to steal your vehicle, if they don't know the code, the vehicle will not go into gear. all right? And I have some other security measures because people will steal your vehicle. And what I really like about this vehicle, you see the centerpiece in the back, that's a window. And I can open it to create a cross breeze, all right? And I can close it also. The EV didn't have that. It also has a sunroof, all right? And I'm gonna close it. And I believe this comes with the High Country. I believe it comes with the High Country. And this is the way I have my instrument panel set up. And I played around with like 3 or 4 of them, and I prefer this one. I tried to have it set up where that my tire pressure monitor was showing, but I think that's somewhat redundant. I can check that on my phone, all right? I can check it on my phone. What's really nice is also you have 2 glove compartments. The one up top, one down the bottom, plenty of storage, cup holders, and here is your phone charger. All right. I really like this vehicle. It's very comfortable. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'5". Used to weigh 280, but Pop got down about 250 now. But I'm more comfortable with this vehicle. I mean, I'm not bad-mouthing EV. Matter of fact, I had lunch today at Donkey's. I'm going to put that on my page also. I tried a gourmet cheesesteak at Donkey's, and they talked about it being on a crescent roll. I thought maybe I had to get 2 of them, but I found out they have custom-made crescent rolls, and I only could eat half of the sandwich and half of the fries that came with it. But I might do a POV one day. I want to get more information about this vehicle, and I do a POV, show you some of the functions, what have you. But this is me, my 2025 Silverado High Country 6.2. Now, I remember I was talking with the service department. I remember back in the day when you bought a new vehicle, they put what called break-in oil in your engine, and you drove the vehicle about I believe 500 to maybe 1,000 miles, and then they would drain that out because it was real thick. They would drain it out, and then they would put regular engine oil in it. See, what a lot of people realize, when you get a brand new vehicle, all of the moving parts within the vehicle has to set itself, and you got iron against iron, and you got shavings from it trying to set itself, and a lot of those deposits from breaking it in, if you don't take it out of your crankcase, you don't take it out of the engine, the combustion compartment, you're going to damage some of the parts. So what I decided to do, because I see General Motors saying I don't have to change the oil in here to 7,500 miles, and the first oil change is free. I'm not worrying about how much it costs. I'm going to change the oil in this vehicle the same way I did my Corvette. I changed the oil at 1,000 miles. I didn't wait till 7,500. All right. I changed it. And also, same thing with your transmission fluid. What I recommend is whatever the manufacturer's telling you to do it, do half of what they're saying. Do half of what you're saying. And I believe you will have better success. I don't know if I told you guys, but I used to own a limousine company, and that's how we did the limousines. We didn't wait 7,000, 8,000 miles. We changed the oil right at 3,000 miles. I'm gonna change the oil in this one at 1,000 miles, and moving forward every 3,000 miles, the same way I do my Corvette. All right, guys. And there's some other things regarding your timing belt, your other things that you can do to increase the life and also the function of your vehicle. All right. I don't know why the manufacturer run things out. I guess they extend the oil change to reduce maintenance costs or what have you. But all of those things come into a factor when you purchase the vehicle. You don't just purchase the MSRP, you're also going to purchase the maintenance costs. You know, what it's going to cost you to maintain that vehicle. I'd rather spend a little more money keeping my vehicle functioning properly than to save money, but at the end up paying more money. All right, guys, I hope this video can help someone. Like I told you, I'm not an expert, but if I can share some information that can help someone, that is the purpose of me establishing this channel. All right, I got a feeling next year, 2 years, you might see me with a new Corvette. Y'all take care. Pray, trust, and hope. You have a blessed day. Be safe, guys.